Okay, so I was recommended the Arrowverse and gradually made my way through each show. Though not exactly blown away, I couldn't dispute the universe they had created, and each show certainly had its merits. But then along came the moment I dreaded. I'd heard nothing but criticism regarding Batwoman, and a tremendous amount of hate. So is this Arrowverse show a bullseye, or an arrow to the knee? It's no secret that the entire Arrowverse has been politically what would be considered left. It's had consistent messages of tolerance, immigration, and each show has had a diverse cast, with each minority represented, especially the LGBT community. I always laughed as I'd see practically every single episode of each of the shows have reviews on IMDb from angry folks on the right claiming that it was promoting all sorts of things from open borders to the infamous gay agenda. So a show fronted by a lesbian character? This was going to be interesting. But was that really the only reason the show was met with such universal disdain? Or was there something deeper to it? Now, Ruby Rose is a unique figure. She looks remarkable and really stands out, so casting her in such a role was perfectly logical. The trouble is, she's far from a great actress. A dullard character like Kate Kane was something she was just about able to pull off. But even then, barely. The supporting cast? Really quite equally bland, and I was very unimpressed. And sadly, that even included veteran Doug Ray Scott, who, though not bad, just kind of floated through the show. The standout performance would have to go to Rachel Skarsten. She was head and shoulders above everyone else, and it could be argued she carried the entire show. No, I'm not joking. The difference in performance was alarming. The plot? Mediocre at best. Alice kept things interesting, but the show presented so many illogical elements that I struggled to really get on board with it. So with a weak cast, mediocre plot, and nothing other than the antagonist to make it notable, what's it got? Well, honestly, nothing. To be clear, I'm not saying I'm on the hate bandwagon at all. I don't think Batwoman is a bad show, and I don't understand the hatred it's received in the slightest. It's just also safe. No surprises, no real contribution to the Arrowverse, just distinctly unremarkable from start to finish. The weakest show in the Arrowverse of what I've seen thus far. Colour me unimpressed, but I'll still defend it against all this irrational hatred. I award Batwoman Season 1 a 5 out of 10. So rant time. Spoilers ahead. Okay, let's talk about that hate train. There's something... It's always bothered me. When it becomes trendy to hate something or someone. You try to nail a person down, not literally, that would be mean, about their reasons for the hatred, and generally you get very little back because they don't really know themselves. I, for example, like Five Finger Death Punch. Yet they seem to have become the new Nickelback in terms of hatred. I've discussed this, I've asked countless people why, and you can never really get a solid answer. Think for yourselves, folks. Stay off bandwagons. They just make you look like a mindless sheep incapable of having your own opinion, so you just clone someone else's. And if you hate this show because its lead is gay, well, you're worse than a sheep. So very, very much worse. Now, when Batwoman hit us with that shocking twist and killed off, I was going to say Alice there, but Beth, I was suitably impressed. That was incredible. Seriously. Well done. Perfectly paced, unpredictable, and brought a lot of new elements into play. This was excellent, I thought. For the very first time, I was excited to see the next episode, to see the fallout. So, can you imagine my dismay as I watched Kate Kane mourning her for all of 2 seconds, then didn't even really acknowledge the death of her sister? You know, the sister she thought was dead, she finally got back into her life and then lost again. This should have been huge, but her grief was comparable with breaking her second favourite mug. They ruined the best part of the show. That is the kind of thing that the show deserves shit over, not whether or not the leading lady likes the dick or not. So, what did you think of Batwoman? Do you think it deserved all the hatred it received? What do you think of Five Finger Death Punch? Do you understand why they've received as much hatred? Tell me in the comments below, like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Until next time, folks.